My name is Hannah Trobaugh. I'm a third-year MFA candidate. It's focusing on technical direction, and I'm the technical director for the CRT slotted production, Darling. A technical director for theater is responsible for the construction and technical design, so the engineering of all of the scenic elements that are going to be present on stage. So anything that is presented by the scenic designer to facilitate the storytelling, we're responsible for building all of that, as well as any practical effects that might be done through either with rigging or automated moving scenery, and as well as some lighting effects where they overlap with the scenic installation. For me, the biggest technical challenge working on Darling was probably balancing all of the shadow puppetry needs with what is possible in the parameters of the real world. So we had to build a lot of things very, very light in order to minimize the amount of framing that was going on, because anything that normally wouldn't be seen, so the backstage sides of all of the wall flats, in our circumstance are going to be seen, because every wall is also a shadow projection surface. We're getting rear projection, we're getting front projection, a couple little flashlight spots as well. So I had to think very critically about where all of the internal framing was going and what was happening backstage, and be hyper aware of things that were going to show up in shadow that normally we wouldn't see in a traditional production that didn't have puppets in it. Putnam County Spelling Bee was my first technical directed show here, and it was also my favorite in that I was able to create a performer flying rig, which was so cool, and something that I did not think I would be able to do in an educational environment. Ed Weingart, my advisor, is certified in all of the things and is a very experienced fly person, and taught me so much and made me feel so comfortable about working and flying humans, which can be really scary. I wasn't scared. The person that was flying wasn't scared because we were so supported. The other show that I worked on, The Old Man and the Old Moon, I designed my own fly rig for the moon in that one, and it was the first time I had designed something that I had never done before. And it was a moment of confidence for me, because I was able to say, yeah, I haven't done this, but it'll be fine. I did my undergraduate degree at Hampshire College. It's a small liberal arts school in Western Massachusetts, not New Hampshire. And I had the opportunity to study the giant street puppets made by Royal Deluxe, which is a French puppet company. And they make these 20-foot tall, completely manually operated marionettes that are strung up from like a construction crane and powered by they're just sat on a flatbed, and they have crews of people that run and grab these massive ropes and pull them down in order to get these legs moving. They're absolutely beautiful, and it was crazy to see these massive constructs of wood and rope and paint express so much emotion and so much humanity. And that was the first moment for me where I was like, this is amazing, and how do I do this with the rest of my life? So while I was an undergrad, in my final year, I had the opportunity to build my own giant puppet. And so I made a giant squid puppet, and I flew it through the theater. And I had all of the legs articulated, and it had its little flappy doodles at the front. It had so many things that I learned from that, and points of I can do better, and if I did this again, this is how I would do it differently. There's no one else that I would rather do my final MFA project with than Harley Brooke Walker. They've been a great collaborator to work with. We worked on The Old Man and the Old Moon together last year, and so when we both realized that we had similar goals, we were like, wait, we can do this together. Part of my participation in this project, I'm hoping to end the year with an instruction manual, a little playbook that I can hand to production managers everywhere and say, you've got puppets in your show. Here's what you should know. Here's what your puppeteers would love for you to know. At the end of this, I hope to work together with Harley again to run around to all of the theaters that are trying to put on shows with puppets and help them create something that will be beneficial for all of the team members.